This is my first Vostok amphibia, and as you can see, I have replaced the strap, obviously, because the one that comes with it is pure unadulterated dog crap. And this, believe it or not, was actually just a cheap $20 shark mesh bracelet on Amazon. The bezel I actually ordered from a manufacturer on eBay, and I think it looks absolutely amazing with the blue dial that's there. I mean, this literally has transformed this $50 amazingly engineered Russian dive watch into something that I literally just can't stop staring at. It is absolutely gorgeous. I really can't speak enough about this. I learned about these watches by a freak accident, actually. Just reading up online, somebody had mentioned that I should check them out because I was in the market for a dive watch. And these are literally amazing in the way that they're designed. The engineering involved actually produces a far superior dive watch, in my opinion, than what is currently found in the market when you're dealing with brute force water sealing, as opposed to this, which is progressive. It actually becomes more water resistant the higher the pressure is on the outside of not only the crystal but the backplate. So this is the first one I did, and I am literally just blown away at how beautiful this looks for, I don't think I spent more with the bezel and the watch band. I don't think I spent more than $90 altogether. Maybe $100 if you factor in the shipping. But that's the first one. This is the latest one that I've done. It's the new version Scuba Dude. They have an older version, and I plan on getting one of those, but I'm going to get it in a bigger case. This is the 420 case, which I really like. I mean, it heralds back to the classic Frogman style that a lot of the military issue dive watches of the mid to late 60s took on. Actually, I should say early to mid 60s. This, I mean, it's an 18 millimeter bracelet. The lugs are 18 millimeters, but the classic styling of it is just so prominent to that era. And with this one, you know, I tore off the ugly bezel that came with it, and again, the dog crap bracelet I replaced with a PVD coated $20 shark mesh off of Amazon. I mean, I cannot believe I found shark mesh bracelets and they're actually semi-decent quality for that cheap. The bezel itself, again, I contacted another seller on eBay for this specific bezel, and it's, you know, it's not the greatest bezel in the world, but I mean, you're talking about a $50 watch. I'm not going to spend, you know, $100 on a hand lathed bezel. I'm going to get obviously whatever I can for the best price. So I don't think I spent more than, altogether, I don't think I spent more than $25 on this bezel. So you've got the watch, which cost me $55. You've got the bezel, and then the bracelet, which I have Amazon Prime, so I don't spend any shipping between this one and that one. I didn't spend any shipping on that. So altogether, I mean, I have two brand new dive watches that are 200 plus meter rated, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I've done a chrono on them. I have a precisionist chrono that I utilize, and the precisionist chrono is accurate to within 3 to 5 seconds a year. And when I matched it up to this one the first time around, this was accurate out of the box. I would say probably between 9 and 11 seconds a day. It does vary ever so slightly depending on how much it's wound. This one I have yet to chrono, but based upon my experience with this and what I've read online, I should expect this one to perform about as well. And from what I've actually gathered through online research, they become, once you've actually worn in the mainspring a little bit after anywhere from 4 to 8 months, they do hit their sweet spot, and they can be accurate to within 2 to 4 seconds a day, which is absolutely stunning considering that they are, Russian mass-produced in a factory in Chistopol, Russia. They produce these literally for $50 American, and they are as accurate as a Rolex Oyster. I mean, seriously, they are chronometer accurate in terms of what they provide for just an amazing price. So I would highly recommend people researching these if they're in the market for an affordable dive watch and they want something that's going to be able to handle the stresses. These definitely are the route. Vostok, amphibia, they've got, I think, 8 different case types. So you literally can find just about any funky looking case or even traditionalist dive case that you want in these variants. And they do take a little bit of getting used to. The crown is designed with a breakaway clutch system. So when you first unscrew it, it's wobbly, and you immediately think, oh, crap, I've got a broken watch. But that's not the case. They're designed that way. You have to pull ever so slightly away to wind the mechanism and then to set the time to engage that clutch. Higher-end dive watches usually have a spring mechanism in here that basically performs the same function, but to prevent this from being wrecked during shock impact, Vostok elected to not have the spring mechanism in there, keeping a constant tension on the winding stem. So not only is this watch water resistant to 200 meters, in fact more, if I'm correct. I've read stories of Russian submariners duct taping these to the outside of their class subs and going down beyond 200 meters and literally for hours at a time, and then pulling it back up and finding that these watches were still operating. There was no water egress into the case, no leakage whatsoever, and these watches continue to perform. These are a legend from Russian Navy days. So with that in mind, it's absolutely mind-boggling how some watch manufacturers these days charge what they do for something as simple as a simple dial and date complication on a dive watch. It completely blows my mind what people will pay for something as simple as that when you have options such as this out there on the market. So with that being said, I would highly recommend, if you are in the market for a dive watch, to definitely look these up. You can buy them from several different sellers on eBay. You can buy them direct from wholesalers that buy direct from the company. Bezels, you can find, I think there's probably 5 or 6 just right off of a Google search. Distributors and manufacturers for this. There's Murphy's Manufacturing. They are the most popular because you can actually buy the Seiko bezel insert to go into theirs. Theirs is a blank milled bezel that is milled specifically to the specifications of Vostok. And what you do is you buy that bezel, and then you buy an insert from a number of sources that are, either Seiko produced or produced specifically to meet the diameter of the Vostok. And you would use some type of a metal glue to glue it into the, the drilled in and milled out portion here to accommodate, whatever bezel you put in there. But with the amount of dial options that are provided by Vostok, as well as the bezel options that are out there, you have the opportunity to build something that pretty much meets or exceeds your expectations, at least in my opinion, for probably 1/3 the cost of a high-end dive watch. And it performs as good, if not more, efficiently than those high-end pieces. So, hands down, super stoked with these and how they came out. And again, these are 18 millimeter. The other case versions they have actually have 22 millimeter lugs, so you can go with a much thicker bracelet. But I personally like the design and heralding back to the old Frogman style. So I would highly recommend these if you are in the market for a dive watch, or even a good timepiece as it is. The 2614B, or is it 2615B, movement that is in this that they've designed is just absolutely stunning in terms of its performance. So once again, I would highly recommend getting one of these. And that is about all I have to say about it. I plan on building 2 more. Actually, I have 1 more coming in the mail. It is a 710 case, which is much bigger than this. It's called the Ministry case. So I'm looking forward to putting that together. Already have the shark mesh and bezel on order, and I will make a video once I get it. And that's all I have to say about these.